Welcome to FPL Selection. Today we'll see how the team is shaping up for Game Week 38, but first a quick look at how we got on in Game Week 37. So a total score of 36 meant another drop down to just outside 21,000. The last 10 weeks since the wildcard have been a disaster. I was 860th in Game Week 28, and I've had 9 out of 10 red arrows. It's been a real terrible run since the wildcard. I did try and push. I was trying to get up into that top 1,000, and having so many differentials, it's obviously backfired heavily. I knew the risk was there, but I didn't think it was going to turn out this badly. And then this week I basically doubled my rank, not having the likes of Concert and Visser. So it's quite frustrating really when you think you've got a pretty decent team and then just a couple of players like that can be quite painful. But I have some lessons learned for next season, and I think I know how to have a good start now, and I've got a few things to learn now for finishing the job at the end. So plenty to look forward to for next year. So the main performers for the week were Mbumo with 5 points. He had a goal, also missed a penalty, so it could have been more there. Rogers, who I brought in, I thought the Tottenham game would have been a nice fixture and I wanted to double up there, so he got an assist, 6 points with a clean sheet. And then I captained Watkins for 10 points, just the assist for him in that one. So just before moving on, just want to say thank you to everybody that's watched, liked and subscribed this season. Obviously the first season I've done this, and it's a lot more work than I was imagining. It's been really nice to see people commenting and appreciating the work. So really would love to hear from everybody, any suggestions, any improvements, what sort of videos you'd like to see next year, because I am sort of planning to expand and do a few more videos for each game week. So any suggestions, please leave them in the comments and let me know. And so I've got some good plans for next season, so looking forward to starting work on that very soon. So now let's look ahead to Game Week 38. So the transfer plans for this week is basically just to target Tottenham. And obviously they won the Europa League on the Wednesday, so after seeing the bus parade yesterday and quite a few of the players on the booze, I think should be a few goals in the game against Brighton. Basically got 3 options I've picked out. It's either Mitoma, Welbeck or Gruder. I think Welbeck's probably the best option on penalties up front. Pedro looks to not be playing because he had some sort of fallout with Van Heck, I think it was, and looks to be moving on in the summer. So I think Welbeck's a good shout. Mitoma, I know he hasn't started a few of the last few games, but he did have an injury, I understand. So there's also talk that he could be leaving this summer, so it potentially could be his last game for them. So I think even if he doesn't start, he has had a few goals recently coming off the bench. So I think he could be a nice differential option there. And then Gruder would be sort of the real differential low-owned. He's had returns in 3 of the last 4. The only issue with him is whether he's going to start or not. So I think he'd be the riskiest of the 3, but depending on how differential you want to be. But personally, I'm probably going to go Mitoma. I think I'm going to stick with my front 3 at the moment. So I've always liked Mitoma as a player, and I had him quite a lot over the last couple of years. So it'd be nice to own him one more time just for the game against Spurs. So I think that's the way I'm leaning at the moment, and most likely it'll be Palmer that'll drop out, which I'll talk about a bit more shortly as to why I'd probably sacrifice Palmer. So looking ahead now, let's have a look at the defence. So I'm going to play Sales at home against Chelsea. Now I think Pope maybe would make more sense here, Everton at home. But I just think Forest, they need the result here. They need a clean sheet because they're not the sort of team that's going to score a lot of goals. And I'm just going to play the double Forest defence again, I think. And home game, big result needed. just fancy them to win 1-0 and get the job done. So I'm going to play, like I said, Sales and Williams, both of them this week, and just sort of see if I can get a nice bit of differential there, having the two of them. So I think most people will probably bench their Forest assets this week. Then Kirkes is at home to Leicester. Obviously, that's, team getting relegated at home. Iraola's actually come out and said he really wants Bournemouth to finish in the top 10. So I think they're going to be heavily motivated to, have a good result here. And obviously Leicester, nothing really to play for. They had the big send-off of Vardy last week. I just think they're there for the taking, and probably a clean sheet and some attacking returns there, potential for Kirkes. So that's why I kept hold of the Bournemouth players till the end here. So let's hopefully we can get some reward for that. And Williams, home to Chelsea. As I mentioned before, I'm just going to go for it with the Forest double up and see if we can bag a result there. Not much more I can say on that really, other than it's a bit of a roll of the dice, but I'm not really going to play Agbadu away at Palace. So Williams was always going to start for me this week. And then Munoz away at Liverpool. I think that's going to be a goal fest. I think both teams will just be celebrating the season. So Munoz is always in the box. He's always up front basically. So maybe a chance of an attack and return there for him. So moving on to midfield. Mbumo is away at Wolves. Absolutely no reason to take him out. So he's had a few returns in the last few weeks. I think if he's priced reasonably next season, it'll probably be my Game Week 1 team. Brentford don't have a horrendous fixtures at the start. I just think he's the kind of player I should have kept him for much more of the season. 38 game week type of player, but away at Wolves, should be some potential there for him to get a return. And Rodgers is away to United. Now United, nothing to play for other than pride really, and been so bad the whole season. Villa really need the result, obviously trying to get the Champions League place, so I'm expecting a comfortable win for Villa. So that's why I got Rodgers in last week, was for Spurs and United. So I'm expecting something there. And Clover is at home to Leicester. Now I'm still debating whether I should start Eze over Clivert this week, because Clivert's been not returning recently. Ever since his child was born, I think he hasn't had any returns, and he's been coming off early. He didn't start the game before, so he's in there now for the fixture, but I am tempted to play Eze away at Liverpool just because of the minutes risk. So that's one to take up to the deadline, but he's in for now. But I'm going to have a little look around and see what I think if he's going to start. Maybe if we get some early news. If he does start, I probably will play him if we get the news, but if not, I might end up playing Eze. We'll have to see how that one goes. And Palmer away at Forest. Now, he's in there at the moment, but I am leaning towards transferring him out, actually, for one of the Brighton lads. I think Forest are definitely going to try and keep it tight. It's, I think the only way they're going to win is if they make it a tight game and try and nick it 1-0. They make it too open. Chelsea will punish them, I think, with the amount of talent they've got. So I just think even if Palmer does I just don't see him get more than one return in the game. And that's why I think it's worth maybe, getting him someone from Brighton for him and take the gamble there. And moving on to the forwards, Haaland is away to Fulham. Been very disappointed with him since bringing him in a couple of weeks ago. In hindsight, it was obviously maybe not the best idea bringing in a player coming back from injury. And that's something I need to remember for next season. But I think City do still need the result, so he's definitely going to want to go out on a high. He hasn't scored yet since returning, so Fulham have got nothing to play for, so it might be a nice open game, few goals in it, and he's going to be motivated to, make a point before the end of the season that, he can still bang him in and he's ready for next year. And Cunha is at home to Brentford. Now, he is a bit of a minutes risk. Obviously, he didn't start the last game. I think that's just because he's, very likely to be moving in the summer. So, probably Pereira's just looking at other players at the moment. I think a home game, maybe his last game, he's going to get a send-off, he's going to want to score. So even if he only gets 20-30 minutes off the bench, I think should be a nice nice open game, because Brentford are going to want to win to try and, if they can steal the 8th place off of Brighton. Probably unlikely, but yeah, so might be some chances there for Cunha. Like I say, he's a sort of, he's the one that he likes to be the centre of attention, so I'm sure he'll want a goal in his last game for Wolves. Then Watkins away to United. Again, as mentioned before, United, nothing really to play for. Villa trying to get that Champions League place. Watkins is going to, want to score again, and he's going to want to place in the England squad. So, yeah, I can see a few goals for Villa and a comfortable win. And I think I'm going to probably be vice-captain this week. I think I'm going to captain Haaland, but he'd be a good contender for the captaincy anyway. I haven't decided on it yet. It's up in the air really for now. So yeah, as I just mentioned, I think it's between captaincies between Haaland, Watkins and the Brighton player that I bring in. I think Haaland's going to want to prove a point. City need a result. I think Watkins, they need a result. Villa as well. So United away. Nothing really for United to play for. And then, as I said, Spurs are probably going to be either drunk or they're going to play the kids. So should be some goals in it for Brighton. So yeah, that's something I haven't decided on yet, but I think all three are reasonable options. Just no standout. So that's it for this one. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one in next season.